Hey everybody, it's Mike, and today I'm going to show you a couple of tools I use when I bushcraft. And the first one is the Flexcut 3-inch draw knife. It's not that big at all, as you can see. And the draw knife is carbon steel. It's got a chisel edge, which I'll show you in a second. It weighs 3.9 ounces, and it has that leather sheath that you see on it. It's a very thick leather sheath to protect the blade. Clean the edge up. It's got them contoured handles that fit perfect when you're pulling from any angle. And it's a really cool tool. As you'll see later on in the video, it works really well. I use that a lot just for fun, bushcraft building. And I just keep them all in the Maxpedition. I think that's the micro or mini pocket organizer. Here's the detailed knife, which I find myself use the most. You can cut, like a hammer grip with a regular bushcraft knife, and it's made to fit your palm. Grip it, and you can also chip and whittle. They're made in the USA, Erie, Pennsylvania, I believe. And here's the 5mm right-handed Scorp. And it's best to use a strap for these and just pull the debris off the edge and clean it up. They're very, very sharp, so when you're learning how to use them, be careful. But it's a really cool bushcraft tool. And here's the palm gouge. Just a really tiny palm gouge. And it's got a nice handle. And as you'll see later in the video, these actually work great. This set right here works absolutely excellent for making spoons and survival bows and all kinds of stuff. And I really enjoy using them. I'm gonna get a few more and get into a more detailed project that I'm planning on showing on my channel. So stay tuned and bear with me, and I'm going to take you out into the field and show you some stuff that I did today with these knives. It's really cool, so stay tuned. I'll see you soon. Well everybody, these are the Flexcut carving knives and the Flexcut draw knife. Like I had said before, this one is the fine detailed knife. This one's a Scorp, and this one's a gouge. And here's the draw knife that I'm going to show you in this review. I'm going to make a survival bow, and in my opinion, these are some of the best carving knives I ever had. They're really cool for bushcraft, so stay tuned. Here's the draw knife. It's got a high polish on it. It's a chisel grind. It's totally flat on one side. And it's got a very sharp edge. Very, very sharp. It's got them nice wooden handles that contour for pulling. And I want to clear my work area off a little bit This is helping me flatten my work area out. Take them bumps down a little bit. And I'm just going to take this and put it up against the tree and sit on it. And I have total control over it now. I don't gotta build nothing fancy. First I gotta skin it. Really bites down too, really hard. Now what you're gonna do is, I'm not gonna actually go through the whole process of building a bow. I'm just showing how the Flexcuts work. But what you want to do is you just got to keep removing material from the ends and kind of flatten it out on both sides so it's flexible. And be careful, because these are very sharp. I've been using it for a while and I'm comfortable with it, but I'm not coming to the very end because that's going to get cut. And then you just got to keep working it. Very comfortable to use. Those wooden contoured handles work great. But as you see, you just keep removing material from both sides until it gets flat and narrow. Then I would eventually cut that piece off and notch it. And I'd actually use this knife to help me notch it. I carved some of the finer details. This knife cut's really nice. It's a really cool little toy to have for bushcraft. You flip it over, do the same thing. Or you can go this way if you're more comfortable with it. It has pretty good control. Or if you want to switch back to the draw knife, you can. As you can see, it's getting a general shape. You just got to get it more narrow, maybe ½ an inch. It's at about 1 inch now, so you still got to take more out. And then you leave your handle in the middle, and you carve it out. Maybe I'll make a specific video one day of how to make a survival bow, but today it's specifically for the Flexcut. I want to show you all how the Flexcut works, so that's why I'm not getting too far in. I'll show you a little more. It's a little draw knife, but it does work really well. It works as good as some really large draw knives that I've used. Any reason you would need for shaping logs, even if you wanted to start a fire and you get a piece of dry wood, this shaves pieces of paper off. So you can see the size of those chips. Alright, now I want to show you the other knives, but first I want to press this piece of wood down a little bit. It's my LT Wright GNS Scandi. I always have this knife on me. It's a really good knife. This piece of wood's a little twisty. Alright, you get good enough at batoning, you can guide it through. I could do the rest of it with the Flexcut detailed knife. I might just take that knot off. There we go. Better. This knife is really sharp and it comes down to a really fine point. For the size of the blade, it gives you regular, really good control. But this is how I start my spoons. I just like to clear the bark off and get it to a really rough shape. And the thing about these knives is the way they're contoured. They're made to actually hold and pull towards you. I'm just kind of flattening it out. Very sharp. Really good little tool to have for bushcraft. Now what I do is I get a marker or a pencil and I just draw a spoon on there. And I just start with this and carve out everything else. It goes pretty quick. When you flatten the side out, I usually come back with the marker or pencil again and draw that out. But as you can see, very sharp. Or if you want to go down like this, you can. See, in no time, I got the general shape of the handle. There you go. And right there. In a matter of no time. And again, that's very delicate work. As you can see, don't ever sharpen these though. Use a strop, a leather strop and compound. To bring the edge back, that's all you need. I mean, as you can see, in a matter of no time, I got the back of the shape there. And it's good to leave a little on there while you start on this part. What I do is I just take a saw and cut that off. As you can see, I did a little bit more work on it. I cut that top off. I'm just shaping it a little bit. Getting it close. And that's about the time I probably draw on it with a little bit of marker again. But I've made a bunch of these, so I'm pretty comfortable It doesn't take much. But that's about it for shaping it like this. For now, you want to leave a little bit of meat on it. But this detailed knife is great. They make another one that's more heavy duty, and it's got a heavier end for other work, but for bushcrafting and stuff like this, these 4 tools that I have here are the best ones and most comfortable I'm with out in the woods. And I have the right-handed Scorp, and I just follow my line. Well, sometimes that happens. It wasn't a failure of the knife though. I cut a little too deep before, but I can still show you how the tool functions. Very easily, it just takes chips out all the way around. Be very careful. When I first got these, I really gouged my thumb really deep to the bone because they're really sharp. And here's the gouge. It's wider. It's got a wider sweep. You pretty much got a spoon in no time with these.